What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Michael Knapp Fishing. Today we're on part 3 of the Lake Chickamauga tournament prep series, or whatever we're calling it. I don't even really know what we're calling it anymore. But on Tuesday's video, we did weather prep as to how we look at the weather and everything to get ready for this tournament. So today we're going to start looking at the mapping. I'm going to kind of break down for you guys what exactly I look at, how I look at it, and whatnot for mapping purposes, and kind of the way that I, kind of the approach that I take to it. So let's go, guys. All right, guys. So I'm a little more relaxed in here with my office chair and whatnot, and we've got my computer here that I just realized is actually in the screen a little bit. Let me just move that back for you guys a little bit. I don't think you want to see that. There we go. Okay. So we are going to kind of dive in a little bit to Google Earth. Google Earth isn't really something that very many people use, I don't feel. I know a lot of the pros utilize it. This is a technique that I found a long time ago. This is a great tool to use. You know, not everybody is able to go out in the wintertime and really look at their lakes and whatnot when they have a drawdown like we do. You know, our lakes come down 40, 50, 60 feet in the wintertime. They come way down, so we can actually go out there and we can look at those lakes and kind of see the structure and whatnot of what we're fishing. Well, for this tournament for Lake Chickamauga, we can't do that. The water might fluctuate like 6 to 10 feet, if that. I don't even know if it fluctuates that much, to be honest. So we're going to utilize Google Earth. So I've got a screen recording now, and I'm going to switch y'all over to the screen recording. All right, guys, so we are now on our Google Earth. Now, do make a note that you need to download the Google Earth Pro is what they call this, I think. It has to be downloaded directly to your computer. You cannot do this via phone. It won't allow. I mean, you can look at Google Earth on your phone, but it's not going to allow you to do what I'm fixing to show you. So we're going to type in up here in the upper left-hand corner, Chickamauga Lake, Tennessee. Excuse me. Got the hiccups over here, and we're going to let it search and do this cool little pull in. Okay. So we are now on Chickamauga Lake. I'm just kind of letting it load a little bit. All right, so more specifically, I am going to hone in on where we are staying, which we are staying at Blue Water in Dayton, Tennessee, which is here. You can see it says Blue Water RV Resort and Marina. So this is our, we're going to call this our home base. If you have never been to Blue Water, it's absolutely just gorgeous. It's got everything you'll ever need there, gas and whatnot. And up here are actually the cabins where we stay. And they have a stocked pond here that I personally know for a fact has 8+ pound fish in it. I watched them put 8, 9, 10 pounders in there. So I know that's got a lot of good fish in there if you want to go check that out. So we are going to be launching out of Richland Creek back here at the Dayton boat dock. The boat dock and grill, I wasn't aware that they were building something, but that's the photo on Google Earth. So that's where we're going to be launching from. I'm more than likely going to just put my boat in at Blue Water and just cruise up there, just make life easier on me since we'll already be there. So the whole point of what we're doing here is we want to be able to look at this water and see if maybe we can find any underwater structure that nobody else really knows about. We're trying to find spots for ourselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up to this upper upper toolbar up here, and you're going to click on the little it's a clock with an arrow going backwards, and it's called the historical imagery. So you can actually take this tool and you can go back with it, back in time, and see when the water was at its absolute lowest or anything like that. You can look at it during the summertime when there was grass everywhere before they started spraying and stuff. You have all kinds of just awesome data that you can pull from here. So one thing that you're going to need to do more than likely is go on to your records and figure out when it was at its absolute lowest. That way you're able to know if it was at just a ridiculously low point or whatnot. So we can actually go all the way back to 1992. It's not really wanting to load. Let's see if I can get it to load a little bit more. See, this is the only downfall to going through the historical stuff is sometimes it does take it a little while to load. Anyway, you get the point. We're not going all the way back to 1992 anyway. We're going to probably come more up into this area in 2007. This was January of 2007. And I do know that the lake was a little low then. Now, you don't always have to do this. If your current charts are low enough, you can absolutely do this. But the most current chart that I can get for it is April of 2020, and they would have been raising the water a little bit. So I've got a 12 of 29. I got an 11, I got a 12, and I got a 1 and a 2 of 2019. And when I'm talking about those front numbers, those are the months. So we are going to go for, let's see here, see if I can maybe get a 1 in there. It's not exactly easy to just grab. Oh, here we go. You can actually click on the wrench up there and you can tell it what date you would like. So we're going to go with a 1, January 2019. All right, so January of 2019, as you can see here, the water isn't like really, really low, but you can still see the points and whatnot. You've got some trees, brush, whatever this may be here. You've got the little point here coming out of Richland Creek. So you've got some different stuff right around the area that I'm staying in. Now that was more or less the point of me showing you this. Is I wanted to kind of show you the area that I'm going to be staying in and why I use Google Earth, because I can actually then kind of read the levels and everything, kind of see in past years what it should look like when they draw the water down. Now, also, if you've never been to a body of water, this also really helps navigating, because a lot of people go to these bodies of water and they've never been there before, and a lot of people can beach themselves very, very easily if you're not careful. So this is just one part of our mapping process. So that was kind of I just want to show you all that real quick. So we're going to come back over here now. We're going to kind of leave Google Earth alone for a second. I just want to show you all that. We're going to bring that back in later as to, kind of what I do with it. So first thing that we're going to do, you all need to download the Navionics boating app. As far as I know, the app's free. I think you just have to pay for extras and stuff. I've used it for a long time, so I would just download it and check it out. All right, let's see here. I haven't been on it since I got my new phone, so give me just a second to set it back up. All right, so we're now on Lake Chickamauga. So I'm going to yet again put it up right over here for you guys to be able to see. So we now have Lake Chickamauga pulled up. And yes, I do have shading turned on mine for various purposes. Red is going to be like that ultra low stuff. But with the Navionics, it doesn't take into account the drawdown and everything for the lakes. I think you might be able to set that up, but I don't. So I'm mostly just looking now for areas that I want to fish. So up here, we are in Blue Water Resort. You can see up there, it's actually marking it right there for us. I forgot I have to move the screen to it. Blue Water Resort there. So we are going to start our approach. Sorry about that. We are going to start our approach by looking around where we're going to stay. Because if I don't have to run a ridiculous amount, then I'm not going to. You know, I can save gas, save the risk of possibly hitting something because I don't know where it is. So that's just kind of some of the stuff that you can look at. So right off the bat, you know, we're in the main channel here. The blue and the white here that you're seeing is the main channel. All of that red, I believe red is anything under 10 feet. So anything that is in that red is just like ultra shallow. You know, that's the shallow stuff. But we're still going to be fishing it. So mostly we're just looking for an easy access, making sure that we can get into some of these back pockets. Because I don't think that we're going to be fishing a whole lot of main lake access. So you see this one here is not going to be accessible because it's only 1 to 2 feet, and that's when the water's up. So that's not even going to be accessible. So we're just kind of looking, so like for example, this one here, we can actually see it's got some of this purplish, dark blue, depending on what color you see, because some of us are colorblind. So you can actually see that we can get in there. You know, it's got 10 to 14 feet, more than 10 feet for sure. Looking like a lot of the average is 14 feet. We got some 12 and 13 feet in there, so we can be able to get back in there. And then if you follow along the blue, here is the river channel, and we'll actually be able to get back in here and fish a little bit. So this could be a good spot for us to check out, because on Lake Chickamauga, it's not, I mean, it is a deep lake that you can fish ledges and stuff, but that's not really the wintertime pattern. In the wintertime, and then this is just sheer opinion. I'm not going to divulge who I shared this with, but one of the MLF pros that I am acquaintances with. We've talked about it before, and he shares the same opinion that I do, that all fish on Chickamauga, not all, but more than 90% of fish on Chickamauga are in less than 10 feet of water in the wintertime. And I honestly believe that. I buy into that. One habit that you don't ever want to get into is fishing off of history. But with that being said, my dad and I took a trip down, my very first time on Lake Chickamauga ever. Never been to Lake Chickamauga before in my life. We were supposed to go down there for the Big Bass Splash. One of my old sponsors then was supposed to be down there as a whatever you call it. They sponsored the event or whatever. We were all supposed to be down there. Well, it snowed up north where they were from, and they weren't able to make it. Truck couldn't make it. So my dad and I were like, well, screw it. You know, we already have the reservations at Blue Water. Let's go. So we hauled the boat down. We went fishing. And I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all we killed them, because the first day I was out fishing deep, because in my mindset I was thinking, well, you know, Cherokee and Douglas this time of year, I'm fishing in, you know, 15, 20, 30 feet of water. You know, I'm fishing ultra deep on Cherokee and Douglas. This is a TVA lake. Why would it be any different? Well, it actually is very different. So on the second day, I got annoyed. So I thought, you know what? We're going to do what I'm good at, and that's shallow power fishing. So we tied up shallow running crankbaits, and we ran. And first 2 or 3 hours, we didn't really do much. But we found some boat docks that I really enjoyed. I love fishing boat docks. And my dad anybody that knows my dad knows he only throws a Spro Little John crankbait. That's all he'll throw crankbait wise. That's what he loves. And I'm skipping docks, and he's throwing that Little John, and he comes rolling down, and whack! I mean, he just rails when he's throwing on a spinning rod. So all you hear is the drag just screaming. I'm like, what the world? So we got it up there. We got him undone, got his picture with it and everything. He threw back in there, whack, there comes another. I was like, are you serious? So I had a Little John tied on my front deck too, but it's a different color. I fired up into the exact same spot, and there was a school of largemouth sitting in 3 feet of water. So, and when I say a school, we caught, I honestly don't even remember how many we caught off of that spot. This was, 4 or 5 years ago. I really don't remember. But we caught a bunch of fish off that spot. So from then on out, my mentality was, well, not all fish go deep, especially these F1 Florida strain that are on Lake Chickamauga. So with that being said, majority of the spots that I'm looking for are going to be more on the shallow side. Now, there are a few spots that I already have kind of marked, and this is one of them. This is a deep underwater point, but there is a lot of shallow to it as well. So the point actually goes, its deepest point out there is 30 feet, give or take. Then it comes all the way up into 7 or 8 feet up at the top of the point. Now, keep in mind, the water drawdown could be anywhere between 4 and 10 feet. Usually around 6 feet is what I'm hearing. So we're going to take that into consideration. So that point right there that I'm looking at, probably 1 to 2 feet. But out here in this blue area, which is what I'm liking, we're looking at anywhere from, 4 feet there, all the way out to 14 feet here. So that's one point that we're definitely going to want to run and definitely going to want to look. Right off the bat, we're going to scan it, look for rock, anything like that. But this is kind of the process of what I do going through all of my tournaments. This is how I start. This is what I'm looking for and all of that jazz. So I wasn't going to get too deep into it, but now we're going to move over to Google Earth and I'm going to show you all what I was looking at on the Navionics. Did that stop? Okay. Now, so this is what I was looking at on the Navionics. This is the Hiwassee Island. And this is the point I was looking at. I'm going to keep zooming in here. So, here it is. Now, you're not able to get, super good look. You don't really see anything coming out of the water or anything like that. But what we are looking at on this in particular spot is we have current coming down. Oh, I have to use my mouse. I forgot about that. Hang on. Sorry. We have current coming down this way because up here is the upriver going towards Watts Bar. Down here is downriver going towards Nickajack. So we have current that'll be coming this way. From what I understand, Chickamauga usually always has current. Very rarely does it not. So coming down this way, we're going to have all kinds of current. So in theory, the current will be coming down here, and then this could provide a nice current break here. Now, we know the point is going to come out way out here. Let's see, I thought I could mark on this somehow, but I don't guess I can. Wait a minute, what if I do that number there? Okay, so this actually changed our view now that we went to, this is November of 2019, and that actually gives us an even better view. How about that? And this is why you need to play with your viewing history, so you can actually see some of the shallow bluffs out here as well. So you're going to have the current coming down here. It looks like we've got some grass down here, which is going to be great. You can rip a trap through there. And keep in mind, guys, I don't want to, I want to be completely honest with everybody here. I picked this spot because everybody and their brother knows this spot. This is kind of a community spot, if you will. Guys, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not trying to give away all of my spots before the tournament. This is going to be a very cutthroat tournament. My personal opinion, it's going to take 30 pounds to win this tournament. 25 to 30 pounds will win this tournament. And I've never caught a 30-pound bag. My biggest bag was 21 and change. So it's intimidating for one, but I didn't want to give away my spot. So that's kind of why I'm checking this spot. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to scan over this spot. When we go, I'm going to check it out, see if maybe I can mark fish. I'm going to check it out, but there's no way I'm going to actually sit there and say, I'm going to fish this spot for sure. Because there's no way to say it. If we get there and the night before I draw boat 120, you can bet I'm not going to get that spot. So that's why we don't really bank on that. So this is just a spot that I'm showing you guys, but we're going to really break it down, look at it. I don't know how tight we can get in there, but you can see there is some kind of vegetation under the water here. And you have an island of it over here. You've got the current that'll be coming through here. And then you should have the eddy break, not necessarily eddies, but definitely a current break here that they'll be sitting on, and even out to here. And anytime that you can get these bass setting up in current breaks, they're bound to be chewing. They're going to sit there and they're going to ambush their prey. Just an all-around good spot that you definitely want to try and fish. So we're probably going to wrap it up. I know this video is getting kind of long, so I don't want to completely bore y'all to death. But that's kind of the way that I approach my my mapping and whatnot to the lakes. Something that you do want to know right off the bat is water temperature. Water temperature is a huge player this time of year. I don't know 100% for a fact, but I do have a couple of acquaintances down there, a couple buddies I've asked. They said it's averaging between 42, 48, somewhere around there. So it's not going to be like crazy cold. But nonetheless, it's still, it's not spring weather. So it's going to be cold out there. The high for that day is only supposed to be 52, but the low is 45. So I'm hoping that we can get the water temperatures. If we could find water temperature anywhere close to 50 by noon, that's going to be really good. I'm gonna really try and hit a lot of that stuff there. But anyway, so the key to your mapping and everything is utilizing Google Earth and utilizing your Navionics on your phone, and really being able to pinpoint down that rock, pinpoint down the points that you want, any laydowns that you want, any trees, submerged vegetation, anything that you can find cover wise, you're going to want to fish. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, you're talking cover, but you're not talking about one of the things that I harp on the most, which is boat docks. I don't know. I don't know how the boat docks are going to play, because I really don't know how low the water is going to be when we get to Chickamauga. And not a lot of these boat docks are stick docks, so they don't fluctuate. Like the dock doesn't come out, they're not floating docks. We do have a pattern that we're going to run with certain docks if they're in the water. We're going to try all that during practice, obviously, but it's one of those things that we're trying to narrow down water and eliminate water before we even get there. We're trying to take this massive body of water and shrink it down to a pond. You can fish every bit of a pond very easily, but fishing every bit of these lakes are very difficult. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to just make this vast area much smaller. We're trying to get our percentages together of where our highest percentage of catching fish are. And in my opinion, the highest percentage of places to catch fish are going to be rock and grass. So I don't think we're going to find a whole lot of grass, and the grass that we do find, I think everybody and their brother will have found. So we are going to mostly be focusing on rock, I think. So anyway, guys, if y'all like this video, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment down in the comment section below. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. I hope y'all are enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, tell me you're not enjoying it. You don't think I'm explaining something right. If you got questions, let me know down there. Ask me any questions you want. Shoot me a message over Michael Knapp Fishing on Instagram, Michael Knapp Fishing on YouTube, Michael Knapp Fishing on Facebook. I think it's Knapp Fishing on Twitter, but don't message me on Twitter because I don't ever actually check that. Just fair warning. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate y'all watching this. Take care, guys.